There's something about you that can't be explained by personality or appearance. You don't have to speak to shift the energy in a room. It happens quietly, through presence, not performance. People pause around you. They speak carefully. Some admire you. Others retreat. You've been called serious, intense, hard to read. But what if you're not too much? What if you carry something deeper than words, a presence born from silence? You ask the questions most avoid. You listen with intent. You speak only when there's something worth saying. And still, without meaning to, your presence can make people uncomfortable. Not because you're wrong, but because you're real. And realness, in a world built on masks, feels like confrontation. You don't pretend. You don't flatter. You reflect. And reflection reveals the truth people spend years avoiding. There's a certain kind of energy that doesn't come from charm or confidence. It comes from alignment. When your inner world matches your outer actions. When your intentions are clean. When you carry truth not for attention, but because you've paid the price to find it. That's what people feel. Even if they can't name it. Even if they don't understand it. Psychologists might call it shadow integration. Ancient texts would call it righteousness. Either way, it means the same thing. You've faced yourself. And because of that, your presence speaks before your words do. This kind of aura doesn't entertain. It reveals. And that alone can shake people. So here are 10 signs that your presence, your energy, may be silently overwhelming to others. Not because you're broken, but because you are clear. And clarity always disrupts illusion. Sign number 1. People say you're intense, even when you're being kind. You're not aggressive. You're not angry. You simply speak from a deeper place. When people say, "You're too much," what they often mean is, "You make me feel something I wasn't ready to feel." You name things others tiptoe around. You speak directly. And your honesty makes others uncomfortable. Not because you're unkind, but because they've gotten used to avoiding the truth. You're not trying to impress or dominate. You're just trying to connect. But connection that's built on truth, not performance, feels confrontational to those hiding behind charm. Sign number 2. You feel drained by surface-level conversation. You don't dislike people. But you find it hard to pretend that small talk matters. "How's the weather? Did you see that show? What do you do?" It's not rude. You engage. You smile. You respond. But something inside you resists. Because deep down, your spirit is wired for meaning, not maintenance. You don't want to be entertained. You want to be moved. And that hunger shows in your silence. When you speak, it matters. And when it doesn't matter, it wears you out. Sign number 3. People open up to you, then vanish. You didn't ask. But they opened up anyway. Strangers tell you their secrets. Friends come to you when they're falling apart. You've been called a therapist more times than you can count. They feel seen in your presence. Understood. Accepted. But then something strange happens. They pull away. They disappear. Why? Because you didn't flatter them, you revealed them. You didn't judge. You just listened. But the reflection you offered was too real. You didn't break the connection. You just made it too honest. Sign number 4. You challenge assumptions without trying. You don't argue. You ask. You don't force. You reflect. You don't shout. But your presence disrupts the script people are used to following. You live from a deeper place. And when you question what others take for granted, they start to second-guess themselves. It's not manipulation. It's not arrogance. It's clarity. Clarity has weight. And people feel that weight when they stand next to you. Your peace reveals their anxiety. Your integrity reveals their compromise. And in that contrast, they feel threatened. Not by you, but by what they've been pretending not to see. Sign number 5. Eye contact with you feels like a mirror. You walk into a room. People glance, then look away. They shift in their seats. They speak softer. They act different. You're not trying to intimidate anyone, but your gaze holds presence. Your eyes say, "I see you." And that's rare. Most people live in masks. They expect to be seen as their persona, not their person. But your eyes don't recognize performance. They recognize truth. And for people who haven't faced themselves, that kind of eye contact feels invasive. Not because you're looking at them, but because you're seeing them. Sign number 6. You attract both reverence and resistance. Some people feel calm around you. Safe. Understood. Grounded. Others avoid you. Misjudge you. Or become strangely distant. You haven't done anything, but your presence activates something in them. Your depth invites honesty. But not everyone wants to be honest. Your strength calls for humility. But not everyone wants to surrender their pride. You bring gravity, not heaviness, but weight. And people either anchor to you or float away. Sign number 7. You can't fake connection, and people feel it. You don't do flattery. You don't pretend to enjoy people you don't trust. And you don't say what others want to hear just to keep the peace. That's not cruelty. That's respect. You believe words should mean something. And when they don't, you'd rather be silent. People sense this. They know your approval can't be bought. So when you give it, it matters. But for those used to charm and applause, your quiet honesty can feel like rejection. You're not being distant. You're being real. And that makes all the difference. Sign number 8. You intimidate authority figures without trying. You're not rebellious. You're just grounded. You respect leadership, but not manipulation. You follow truth, not status. And that alone shifts the power dynamic. Some leaders admire you. Others feel threatened. Why? Because they sense they can't control you. You don't need their approval to know your worth. You carry quiet confidence, the kind that can't be faked or forced. And in environments built on control, that's disruptive. Your presence says, "I know who I am." And that makes people who rely on fear very uncomfortable. Sign number 9. You feel invisible in crowds, yet unforgettable. You're not loud. You don't demand attention. But somehow, people remember you. You speak when needed. You listen more than you talk. You observe. And still, your absence is noticed. Why? Because your presence isn't performance. It's authenticity. You don't shine like a spotlight. You burn like a flame. Steady, quiet, unshakable. And in a world full of noise, that stillness is unforgettable. Sign number 10. You are misunderstood, and you've made peace with it. You've spent years trying to explain yourself, trying to soften the edges, trying to be more approachable. But now, you understand that not everyone will get it. And that's okay. You were never meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to be true. You've chosen the narrow road, the honest road, the one that costs more but compromises less. And the people who are meant to walk with you, they'll recognize you, not because of what you say, but because of who you are. So if your presence unsettles people, if they pull away, if they misjudge you, if they say you're too much, understand this. You are not too much. You are simply awake. And in a world addicted to comfort, awake people feel like thunder. You weren't made to fit in. You were made to reflect what's real. And sometimes that reflection will look like love. Other times, like disruption. But it will always be honest. And in the end, that's what makes your presence unforgettable. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an insightful video. We've got plenty more to come. Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep this conversation going. See you in the next one.